Hello my friends, and welcome back to Rocky Mountain Gardens. My name is Mary, in case this is your first time stopping by. And guys, today we are joining Jaime at Border Bananas for her monthly Flipping Friday. And I am so excited to participate this month because I have two great thrift flips that I want to share with you, and it might give you an idea for something that you can do in your own home to spruce things up a little bit. You know, our tastes change over time, and this can give you some ideas of how you could achieve a look that maybe you are feeling strongly about nowadays. In any case, there's going to be a playlist that I'll put down below in my description box, right below the YouTube video on YouTube that you're watching now. There's always a description box, and down there will be a playlist with other creators who are participating this month in Flipping Friday. And so, you know, you can watch that whole playlist and get some great ideas and inspiration. And let's see. Oh, and also I wanted to mention that Jaime has two channels, and I'll have both of those two listed also in my description box below. So let's get started on these projects. I'm here in my dining room, and you can see I have a table that has a black and sort of, I don't know, a little bit of cherry looking. It's a little bit reddish brown top and seats on those chairs. And a couple of years ago, I bought these two armchairs to go with because I wanted more seating here in my dining room. Well, they are a brown color in these rather blah seat covers. So my plan for them is to paint the wood black and recover the seats. We're going to get started on this project now. I'm out in my backyard and spray painting my chairs. I always start with them upside down, really any of my painting projects. And here I have a picture of the flat black paint that I used. So this is what I happen to have on hand, and I just made the most of what I had. And after two coats, I went back and sprayed this Krylon satin clear spray to protect the flat paint that I used. Next, we are moving on to covering the seats with this tartan plaid fabric that I ordered from Amazon, and I'm cutting the pieces to fit the seat. And also I'm checking here to make sure that it is straight on the seat. I didn't want it, you know, to have the plaid be all crooked. So I'm flipping it over, and I'm going to be stapling it on with the oldest staple gun on earth, I think. This one is difficult to use, but you know, it's what I have, so I'm making good with it. And you'll see here, after I staple it, I have to take my hammer and hammer the staples in order to get them all the way in and secure on the back of this seat. Now I'm working on the corners, guys, and you can trim off some fabric. I'm not really, you know, so worried about the corners. I want them to look neat, and I tuck in the fabric the best that I can to get a good finished look. But it doesn't have to be perfect, really. And you'll see here I'm going to show you a quick peek at the corner. Next, I'm reattaching the seats to the chair, and I am hand screwing in these bolts that came with the chair, and then I tighten them really well with my screwdriver, making sure that they're secure and don't slide around on the chair. And here, let's flip it over to get a quick look at the finished chair. Lastly, here is a quick look at one of the chairs in my dining room. And of course, we'll see them again in my fall home tour. Now, before we begin project number 2, I wanted to invite you to participate in a Q&A video that I will be doing in October. I had this suggestion from one of my subscribers from Ireland. He knows who he is. And I wanted to ask you to put in the comments below this video any questions you might have about me personally, or my videos, or why did I start making YouTube videos. Let's see, gardening, any questions you can think of that you would be curious to hear answers to. So don't forget, just think about it, think it over, and add a question down below. And then I will be doing this Q&A video in October. And let's get moved on to project number 2. Now we're going to do a project with this old wooden ice cream maker that I have had forever. And it's very vintage, old-fashioned, with a hand crank. And guys, today, because it is this reddish-brown color, I plan to take this Minwax Poly Shades product in the color Mission Oak, and let's give it a try. I want to apply the stain to the wooden part of the bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this crank, and we're going to get started on trying to transform this more into the color palette that I like in my home. And I probably will be using this very soon in my fall decor, as a matter of fact. I'm doing a quick sanding to roughen up the surface of my bucket, and this will hopefully help the stain sort of attach to the surface much better. And I'm going to be changing gears here. I thought I was going to use that Poly Shades finish, but instead I'm using this espresso wood finish by Minwax. I thought this would be a better color, and I also found that Poly Shades was way too shiny for me. I wanted a more satin or matte finish to my project. So I'm just brushing it on quickly, all areas of my bucket. And you can see it's dripping down on the sides a little bit because I really was sort of globbing it on, but that's okay. I wanted that very uneven look to this vintage ice cream bucket. Now I'm taking a soft cloth and dabbing on the stain. I don't want to wipe it off completely because I'm trying to cover that reddish color, but I'm dabbing it on gently and trying to leave a sort of a mottled finish for that vintage look. You can see that there's a bit of a shine on this bucket now after I completed my staining. And I do not like that shine, because if there's one thing vintage pieces do not have, or antique pieces, it is a shiny finish. They tend to be very matte. To try to correct this, I did do a little sanding on the piece, and now I'm going to do an experiment and try using this Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax. It is called Grunge Gray, and see if I can tone down this shine as well as sort of change this dark brown color a little bit. So this is an experiment and we'll see how it turns out. I've got my waxing brush here. I'm going to put a small amount on my brush. I don't want to put too much. Looks about like that. And I'm going to start with the rim up here and see what happens. See if I like this effect. I do think it's going to help remove that high shine from this. And then I'm going to go in and do the inside as well. And I didn't stain all the way down in the bucket, only part way, since with this bucket I'll always be doing a flower arrangement for the season or different other sort of design tricks. So let's just take that. I'm going to use my shop towel and wipe it back a little and see how I like this effect. I think I like it. I think it gives a little bit more of an aged look to this ice cream bucket. So let's go ahead and I will continue waxing the entire ice cream bucket as well as going ahead and wiping it back. Wow, look at this, guys. It toned down that sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but the brown color I wasn't that fond of, and it toned down the shininess. There's more of a satin finish to the bucket now, and I just like the color overall. So if you find yourself with a project where you have a shiny finish you don't care for, try some of this Dixie Belle or any kind of wax that can be used to cover your finish and change it a bit more to your liking. And I actually got this Dixie Belle on Amazon. It's not hard to find if you look it up if you're interested. I've used this on a couple of other projects as well, and kind of can get rid of that orangey tone that you have on wood sometimes. It's helpful for that as well. So now let's take a look at how I'm going to use this in my fall decor. As promised, here is my ice cream bucket in my fall decor. I'll come a little bit closer so you can see the bucket and how I painted the handle moss green. It is a color from Waverly Chalk Paint. I like it because it's vintage looking, but still helps the handle stand out from the dark brown of the bucket. I like to use apples in my fall decor. Here is a close-up of my arrangement. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by my channel and sharing with me these two projects today. I hope you enjoyed the results, and I hope you'll also come back to my channel for more thrift flips, thrift hauls, and decor for the holiday season. Don't forget to subscribe if you have enjoyed this video, and so long for now.